Hey, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well. All right, it's time for our weekly track roundup where I go over what I felt were the worst and the best tracks of the week. They are linked down below, whether I loved them or I hated them or just felt somewhere in between, along with our Turntable Lab link. We get kickback from that if you're buying a turntable, some vinyl, something like that, things of that nature. Hit up the page. Also, our Patreon page is down below, like usual, where you can get access to some bonus monthly content that supports us, supports the channel. And of course, also a link to our sponsor in this video, the good people over at The Ridge. They still make these awesome, nifty, metal-plated minimalist wallets that fit nicely in your front pocket. Super rugged and tough, RFID blocking. Check them out. Again, link down below. Promo code MELON, 10% off. All right, worst tracks of the week. We have a handful. Let's do it. Ba-bam. New one from Weezer, Wave Break. From Wave Break. Tell me what you want. I believe they had a tie-in with E3 on this track. Regardless, it's a really cringe rock song with some pumped up guitars that make me wonder if this is kind of like a Van Weezer leftover or something. Regardless, what makes this one difficult to listen to is like Rivers really tries to build up his lyricism as if it's going to be something like, he's going to do a mic drop, man. A real mic drop's going to happen in this track. Watch out. Rivers is on one on this track. He's about to destroy your conception of reality. And then he just calls Pitchfork a bunch of dorks. And I don't know. It's kind of the pot calling the kettle black at that point, but whatever. It's not a great song. All right, we have a new one from St. John and SZA, a painfully mediocre and forgettable track, generically produced. SZA is really the only interesting thing about it. It's for the Space Jam soundtrack. Last cut they had from that was quite a bit better. We have a new one from Doja Cat as well, as she teases toward her new full-length LP. This one, Need to Know, is a total mess. Very horny, but not well put together or sung. And it's really just a junk pile of horniness. I'll leave it there. All right, and we have a new one from Deafheaven, who teased toward their latest full-length LP, or what will be their latest full-length LP, with a track that is a serious change in direction as they go in a bit of a soft dream indie rock shoegaze style this time around. They sort of, hint toward the black gaze stuff and something heavier toward the very end, but I don't know. From start to the very, disappointing finish, this thing is drab. This thing is drab as hell, and I don't really know if there's too much more you can say about it other than that. All right, the tracks that I thought were meh, not blown away by these, but I still thought they were worth checking out or pushing your way. Making you aware of a new one from Wavves. This is one of the noisiest and rowdiest cuts that have been teasing toward this new full-length LP. Nathan has been kind of genre shifting a little bit in the lead up to this record, but this is the first track I've heard from this one that is not only pretty decent, but sounds like what we would know to be like a Wavves song. You know what I mean? So not too bad. Not too bad in my opinion. We have a new one from Skrillex, Dubstep King extraordinaire, who is switching up styles on this new track, though he has been, dabbling in a lot of different sounds as of late. This one has Noisia, Josh Pan, as well as Dylan Brady on it, Supersonic, My Existence. It's super heavy, lots of interesting sound design throughout this track. I just don't think it's the most well-formed song. Through and through, to me, I feel like the best application or use of this track would be for it to land on some kind of very creepy or eerie movie or game trailer or something like that. It's not bad for a vibe, but I just don't really think it's a well-written, well-structured song. We have a new one from Megan, Thot Shit. What to say about this other than it just kind of seems like Megan is really just phoning it in on this one. I don't know. This just seems like a song I would hear if I was trying to stereotype Megan Thee Stallion. A Megan Thee Stallion song has to have A, B, and C, and literally nothing else. It just seems like a super ultra simplified version of what she typically does, which it seems a lot of the fans are responding to, plus the track is attached to a very vivacious music video that a lot of people seem to be really into. But as far as like a standalone song, I just don't really think it's one of her stronger tracks. I mean, comparing this to like, I don't know, let's say Girls in the Hood, for example, like total banger in comparison to this. Savage, holy shit. Like this thing is nowhere near as like good as Savage. The chorus is like not even holding a candle to that track, but I don't know. It's just okay. It's not bad, but it's not great either. All right, we have a new one from Madi Diaz over here. New record out now, Woman in My Heart. It is a slow-burning, passionate ballad. Check it out. I mean, I wish there were maybe more layers or kind of details to it, but it's certainly got a lot of heart to it. You know, it's simple and it's well sung. Check it out. We have Juicy J, who is putting out their deluxe version of his latest full-length LP, Take It, with Lord Infamous and Rico Nasty. Hits pretty hard, and the added Rico on the track certainly goes off, makes it a bit more fiery than the original version was, but still not one of my favorite Juicy tracks. We have a new one from IDK. This one's a pretty smooth one, a little derivative, but I don't know, Peloton, that's the title. It's got some cute lines here and there. It's a little sexy, I suppose. We have a new one from Hobo Johnson. Not amazing, but definitely easier to swallow than his last teaser. I Want You Back is the title of this one. To me, this one goes back to a lot of the roots of just kind of that broken, endearing, troubled boy vibe that I found to be, sort of striking about his last record. And his stuff that goes back to earlier than that. But I don't know, there still seems to be something missing from the equation on this new track, and I haven't quite put my finger on it, but I don't know. It's not doing as much for me as it did in the past, but I guess we'll, maybe get to the heart of that when the new record comes out in full. We have a new one from Hiatus Kaiyote. Fortunately, the honeymoon's kind of over. I mean, I loved their last record. Their last, what I mean to say is a single. But this new one, Chivalry Is Not Dead, I feel like has gone right back into a lot of the elements I don't really care for in their music much of the time. Like super messy mix, super messy in terms of how the instrumentation is coming together. It seems like no one on this track is like really relegating themselves to a supporting role. It's like everybody's trying to show off at once. And it's like really killing the full potential of the song, in my opinion. And it doesn't seem to be that bad of a song on the surface, but like the recording of it, the balance of the instrumentation, and the way it's performed just leaves a lot to be desired. We have a new one from Dua Lipa off of this Gully soundtrack that's just okay. I mean, there's not really anything super special about it. Nowhere near as good as anything off of her latest full-length LP. And let's move on to the best tracks of the week, the ones that left more of a mark on me. Let's go. Ba-bam. We have a new one from Tkay Maidza, Cashmere. It's a slow burner. Got some cool synth bass in there. Very layered and wavy, hypnotic, and I guess I want to say somewhat psychedelic instrumentation on this one. Definitely one of her prettier ballads so far. Can't wait for Last Year Was Weird Volume 3. We have Brando, new one from Lucy Dacus. It is a straightforward indie ballad with some very chill and melancholy lead vocals. I like the songwriting quite a bit. Lyrics are clever too. Can't wait for that new record. We have Lorde over here, Solar. We have Solar Power over here from Lorde, and loving this new track. Definitely digging the somewhat Stonesy kind of vibe over here of the don't get me in trouble, YouTube. The Stonesy kind of vibe of the guitar riffs and the build up at the end. Some part of me part of me wishes the finish was a bit grander. But it is what it is. I feel like it's a solid tune all around, and it has me wondering if we're gonna get a super strong change in sound on this new full length album. Whoop. And here we have Jessie J, first new song in years. coming through with a disco rager with a super strong vocal performance, awesome strings, and just a great groove. I mean, not reinventing the wheel or anything as far as disco goes, and as you guys know, over the past year, there has been no shortage of disco revivals kind of floating around just about everywhere. But with that being said, like this one is done particularly well and has just a severe sense of just grandiosity to it and a lot of power to it, especially on the vocal side. So I think there's something to be said for that. We have a new one from Jack Antonoff over here. Really loving this track. How Dare You Want More? It's got some amazing horn and guitar lines, fantastic groove, quirky vocal recording, and just a really, I want to say a tense energy to it, but still slaps like a pop tune. Liking it a lot, Jackie. We have a new one from Illuminati Hotties, new record on the way. This pool hopping track? Yeah, this track slaps, man. Riffs are awesome. The punk energy is there, but it's still kind of snaps like a pop tune. Liking the vibe quite a bit. Liking the energy, liking the songwriting. Not nowhere as weird as like the last teaser, but still, good songwriting, good performance, and energy all around. So, hell yeah. We have a CupcakKe over here with another banger with some standout bars. Listen to this and listen specifically for the line about, turning someone into a typo. Super clever. I mean, CupcakKe is just writing on a level that so few rappers are right now. I mean, it's just so blunt. It's so hard hitting. It's so immediate, but yet it's also so incredibly clever. And, the references and the double entendres and, the way she's kind of like flipping certain phrases and making you see words and concepts that you hear every day and that you're familiar with every day. Again, sort of like a typo, but making you see it sort of in a different way is, just something not a lot of rappers are doing right now. At least, people who are in her lane of, again, kind of dropping bangers, that immediacy, that straightforward kind of hard hitting, grimy energy. Loving what CupcakKe is doing lately with a lot of these singles for sure. We have a new one from Clairo over here, which is a sweet, low-key, enchanting, subtle ballad, acoustic ballad, radically different from a lot of the stuff off of her, breakthrough record. And I just like the tune and like the energy overall. Looking forward to seeing if, this is going to kind of be a, turning of a new leaf on this new LP. I mean, certainly it will be. I think she's had quite a bit of time to work on her craft and mature since the breakout record. So, this could be a totally different LP from Clairo, and definitely excited to see it. We have a Competition, new track from Amber Mark. And again, to the Clairo, Blouse was the name of that track. If I didn't say it, I don't believe I did. Blouse. Amber Mark, Competition. Man, this track is really good. This is like, there's elements of pop and R&B in there, but also art pop too. It's super refined, super beautiful. I'm just liking the message coming through in the lyrics as well. Kind of like the collective, energy of working together on this one. And great vocals as well. Just liking the sensual, spacey, artsy vibe this track is bringing forward. And again, a good tune all around as well. Hell yes to Amber Mark on this one. And Alice Gas, I Don't Care Anymore. A cool little hyper pop banger with an emo twist with some punky guitars on the back end. I'm loving the energy of it, even if that emo affectation is a little much to take at a few points. But yes, loving this one quite a bit. It's a good one. It's a good one for sure, for sure. All right, that has been the weekly track roundup, everybody. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this video. Remember, all the tracks I talked about are linked down below, so you can check them out for yourself. And I'll see you in the next video. Anthony Fantano, weekly tracks forever.